Hey guys, I want to go ahead and talk about some of these absolute value equations. I know you guys have asked me and you had some trouble with these. Well, whenever we go ahead and solve these absolute value equations, remember absolute value, we're going to have two solutions. And the reason being is because if I ask you, well, what's the absolute value of 3? Well, you should know the absolute value of 3 is 3. Because absolute value, by definition, is the distance from 0 on the unit circle. Okay, now what about the absolute value of negative 3? Well, it's still going to be 3. So either way, no matter how you do it, absolute value of positive 3 is 3 units from 0. Absolute value of negative 3 is still 3 units from 0. So that's why we're going to have two solutions. Now the whole key here is you want to go ahead and, when you're solving these, you want to go ahead and isolate the absolute value. Okay, and we just want to go ahead and solve it like we do a normal equation. And the first thing we want to do is we want to undo this thing called Pemdas, the order of operations. Okay, so if we undo this guy, then everything will work itself out. So we want to first undo addition, subtraction. And if you notice, you get that minus 6. So we're going to go ahead and do plus 6 plus 6. And that's going to give us 2 times the absolute value of x plus 4 is equal to, what's that, 14. And now then we have that 2 next to the absolute value. That means multiplication. So we're going to go ahead and undo that. How do you do multiplication? You undo it by division. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. You're left with the absolute value of x plus 4 is equal to 7. Now that you have the absolute value isolated, okay, now we can go ahead and separate it. X plus 4 is equal to the positive value, which is 7. And then the second one is x plus 4 is equal to negative 7. Okay, well, if you do that correctly, you should get x is equal to 3 and x is equal to negative 11. Okay, and those would be your two solutions for this particular equation. Let's do another one, guys. Same thing, undo addition, subtraction. So let's go ahead and undo that. I teach my students to just kind of take it over across. It's going to become a minus. Okay, so we're left with the absolute value of x minus 3 divided by 4 is equal to 1 minus 2. Be careful, is negative 1. Okay, well, how do you get rid of this fraction? Well, let's go ahead and multiply the whole thing by that fraction, which is 4. You notice the fraction is going to simplify itself out. You're going to be left with the absolute value of x minus 3 is equal to 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. Now, if you notice, this guy is a bit of a trick question. The absolute value of anything will never be negative. If you think about it, anything inside here once we take the absolute value, is always going to become a positive. So this guy's a bit of a trick question, and the answer is there's no solution. There's no solution. Does that make sense? Because whatever I put in here, let's say I put a 1, 1 minus 3 is negative 2. Absolute value of negative 2 is not negative 4. Even if I put negative 1, negative 1 minus 3 is negative 4, but the absolute value of negative 4 is going to be a positive. So be careful with that one. That's just a bit of a trick question. These are the ones that I like. These are a bit tricky. Okay, but they're also good problems. Let's go ahead and undo addition, subtraction. See the 2? Be careful. Do not do 6 minus 2. Remember, this is being multiplied together here. So what we want to do is, this means multiplication. So this guy is being 6 minus whatever this value is. So 6 is subtracting this whole value here. So we're going to go ahead and take this guy right here. Take him over here. Well, he's a positive 6. He becomes a negative 6. So now we have negative 2 times the absolute value of 2x plus 1. 4 minus 6 is negative 2. Alright, now we just continue solving. Undo addition, undo multiplication. So divide by negative. That's going to leave me with the absolute value of 2x plus 1 equals 1. I've isolated the absolute value. Now I can go ahead and solve it. 2x plus 1 equals 1. And my second solution is 2x plus 1 is equal to negative 1. Right here, when you solve it, you should get 2x is equal to 0. Therefore, x is equal to 0. Over here, you should get 2x is equal to negative 2. And therefore, x is equal to negative 1. Alright? So this is just, minus 1 over here on this side. Minus 1 becomes negative 2. And those are your solutions. Alright guys, so hopefully that helps you out. And let me know, I'll make some more videos. Alright, bye.